Okay. Oops, I still have the third banner up. Take that off. Hello, how are we? Hopefully we are wonderful. It's Monday. Oops. I keep doing all the things. Anyway, hello, how are we? I do have a possible distraction. I do have my window curtains open again, so I may be staring out at butterflies and um, being nosy as people drive by. Our current male person is driving up at the moment. Um, anyway, hello, how are we? Happy Equinox because that's today at either 2:14 or 2:19. So sometime during this stream. So there's that. Um, so here's where I said hello. Becca says hello. Hello, how are you? What are you up to today? We just have construction going on next door. Oh, okay. So apparently my construction turned into your construction. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, we had the guys finished um, on stream, I guess, like right at the end of the stream or towards the end of the stream on Friday of painting, and then the main contractor guy has them on like a really big job for somebody in the sort of like not super close vicinity, but like somewhere in the area in the Athens tri-county area. Um, they've got a really big job of like renovating a landscape and a house because we asked if the paint guys, the paint crew, if they had another job lined up soon because we had some neighbors ask about them. Um, but they said that they had something lined up that was going to take a 6-man crew 6 days to do. So wow, that must be a big one, whatever it is. But yeah, so um, like I said, I wish we had fall weather. It's still so hot here. Yeah, I mean, it's currently, we're expecting an inch of rain like Thursday, Friday, but it's still 83 degrees. Um, I, yeah. Um, okay, make it go away. There we go. Yeah, so it's still in the 80s, mid 80s, sometimes upper 80s. And it doesn't quite feel like fall. There have been a couple of days where it's been a little cooler, and I've been very thankful for that. But for the most part, it's been very summer-esque still. Stacy says, "Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome." Yeah, so it's been warm, but I am looking. Occasionally, we have a cooler evening, or a cooler morning, and I'm like, "Yay, it's coming! Fall is coming!" So I'm excited about that. We still have sort of like summer skies in terms of like the paler blue and the fluffy-ish clouds. So we don't have that like deep fall colored sky yet. I have broken out the Archer and Olive again. Like I don't know how to not have the glare from the window on there, so apologies. But I have broken out the mug for use. I figured today was a good day to do it. I was like, Autumn Equinox, why not? So this was where Stacy says, "Good afternoon, good afternoon." Have Karma and Monsters bus rides gotten normal again, or are they still running much later than they were last year? Tomorrow it's going to be 90. Oof. But it looks like it may be cooling down to early 80s later in the week. That means you're hoping that things will start cooling off. Yeah, because generally here in Georgia, it's about the equinox that we have the first. It's like about that time frame or that week generally there's like the first real like drop in temperature that it doesn't typically go above again. Yeah, so I'm hoping. Also, apologies if you can hear the wren or whatever bird is outside my window. It's just apparently taken up residence and wants to have something to say, even though I trimmed the bush. So I don't know. Monsters is normal, though today she's staying after school, so you will need to go pick her up. Karma's is all over the place. Today they told you she's coming earlier. That just seems odd to have that variable of a bus schedule. Well, I mean, sometimes we were late because, the school was having problems. There was a kid who couldn't find their bus or whatever, like the first, couple weeks of school, but it was always later. It was never earlier. It was never earlier. So that seems very foreign to me in terms of like, I've never, except for maybe twice when my bus driver got mad at the other kids on the bus and decided to go the reverse route and take pity on those of us who were usually first on, last off. And those days were brilliant because I got home and I was like, all right, I have time. So today has to do with field trips. So they are rerouting at least her bus. Okay. All right. I suppose that sort of makes sense. But I would think that because that was one of the things was that when you were planning the field trip, you had to be back in time for the buses to be used for their regular purpose. Even if that meant the bus had to be back early enough to then go refuel and come back to the school. So, because you wouldn't want to run out of diesel. I'm pretty sure they ran on diesel while the kids were on the bus. So, I don't know. Anyway, today is the equinox, so I do have tarot cards. At the moment, I'm choosing to do the Lucid Dreamers deck, so I'm going to have to shuffle and do them. So here's the Magician card. Here's one of my cards. So that's going to be probably one that I center it around. Yeah, I have mine on the bottom here, just because I apparently was working with them last time I used this deck. So I have the Magician, the Sun, and the Wheel. Those are my 3 cards. I'm not as huge of a fan of the Wheel card depiction, the one on the left of us. But I do like the Sun and the Magician. Anyway, I also really loved the Hanged Man because it's awesome. Look at that. You're gonna focus. There we go. It's just this deck is so pretty. It's so pretty. So yeah, so I have to shuffle these and then do a more extensive pull than I would normally do because I'm doing it for the season rather than just for a month. Which, I mean, granted, the new moon was Sunday. So if you haven't done your new moon or if you haven't done your quarter, however you want to look at it, sort of like if you haven't done your semi-annual. So yeah, so I've got to shuffle and work with those. What else? I do want to get a couple of scenes done with the current project. But some of those I'm still not quite sure if they're going where I want them to go. So those might get rewritten a bunch of times, essentially. Because I'm not quite 100% in love with them yet. Rachel is here. Hello. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much. Welcome. You drew the 8 of Cups reversed. Okay. Let's look it up. Because I can't remember. 8 of Cups. Nope, that's the swords. Where's the cups? There it is. 8 of Cups reversed. Delays, unanticipated complications. Also a person who might be refusing to move on emotionally. There's generally a missing piece. 8 cups usually stack neatly, indicating order and prosperous existence to things, but there's a void in the collection, which symbolizes a want or need that is unfulfilled. So hopefully that helps. Also, today I'm drinking a honey citron tea, in case you are curious. It's delicious. I usually get it at the H Mark when I go meet up with Bestie there, but and I usually get like the big jar because it comes as like a thick, almost like jam consistency. But it's meant for diluting in hot water. So you can put it as a marinade. I'm sure it would be delicious for probably porks and stuff. More white meat than red meat, I think. And then of course it's delicious as tea. I'm sure it would work great as like a added thing for cupcakes. It would be good. Anyway, Stacy says, well, I finished my story Bible. Yay! So you're back to writing, and that sounds like kind of your reluctance to write this scene. Gotcha. All righty. So today is the first day of fall, technically, here for us. So would you like some more fall timers? I know last time we did start with the spooky season timers, which are usually silent, and then I had my microphone on for some of them for doing the typing ASMR. How are you feeling today? Do you want fall vibes, spooky vibes? What kind of vibes do we want? Because we have these silent timers that are spooky vibes. We also have the spooky teapots, and we have some fall landscape with bird noises. So if you have a preference, let me know. Also, we need to do the doggos. Okay, so this is not wanting to stand up on. The top is getting so heavy that it's wanting to. I'll have to do that later. Okay, so the weekend dog says, we only rate dogs. This is clearly cotton ball. Not sure what made it angry though, but please send only dogs. So here is the cotton ball in question, which looks like maybe a baby Pomeranian. But yeah, little angry floof balls. They are definitely floofy. And then today we have Gracie. She's counting her spots and swears there are more than yesterday, unless that's just her nose. So here's Gracie and her way to count spots. So there we go. Very cute doggos for today. And let's see, Kara says, I'm going to be doing a little bit of journaling. Gotcha. Yes, that is sort of the poll today as well, is what are you planning for the equinox and Q4? Answer choices are no clue yet. Some cooking, baking, and preserving. Resetting and working on your Kanban board. Lighting a candle, journaling, tarot, etc. Those are your options for the poll, or of course, you could tell me if you're doing something specific in the chat. Today we have the frog. Ooh, that's a good one. It's number 28. It's decluttering. Frog, clear out the clutter. Frog knows that while all other frogs are croaking away, this is a time for you to simplify and declutter your life so that you can feel content on your own lily pad. Even when life isn't creating a total cacophony, we can become drawn to the excitement of lots of noise. Then the next thing we know, our schedules, our homes are cluttered with commitments that we regret making and objects taking up valuable space. Even relationships need decluttering as they often become messy. The frog appears to tell you to clean house, prioritize what you need, and get rid of or give away the rest so that you can have some space in your day and in your head. You don't need the old stuff and its stories shouting at you about the past. Along with physical decluttering, friendships are sometimes kept long past their expiration date, weighing you down with unnecessary baggage. Now is a time to let go. Whatever you need will appear when you need it, so release your grip on all that clutter that is making you feel anxious and burdened. The frog wants you to reclaim your space unencumbered by shoulds, oughts, and could-have-beens. Let go and jump. You are free from all that old stuff. So there you go. There's the frog, encouraging you to clear out the clutter, declutter your mind, declutter your space, declutter your relationships, and truly sort of consider what is still working, what is still beneficial, and what you have outgrown, or what you are no longer going to turn to. So that's a good card to get before we have essentially a week before quarter four starts. So that's a good time to think about this. So yeah. All right. Let's do file. Open this one. Close this one. Let's do a spooky teapot, shall we? There we go. Share. Okay. All right. And this one is silent, so I can leave my mic off and type. And then if it gets annoying, just, tag me in the comments and shout at me in all caps to be quiet. And I will mute myself fully. So there we go. That's the plan. Is if you can't stand my typing, just let me know and I will mute myself entirely. Okay. 1, say your document. 2, make sure you have something to hydrate with and go ahead and take a sip. Cheers. 3 is to straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. I did wind up muting myself about halfway through because I was moving around my room a little bit. And I didn't want to have y'all hear the footsteps and stuff. So yeah, I did manage to get 919 words, which is a great start for today. I meant to do the tarot stuff, but I was like, you know what? Let's start off the stream by writing. So we started writing and we got 919 words. So that was the right way to go. Let me pull my Excel up and over to the other. Today is the 22nd. 919. That was a 30-minute sprint. Okay, so cheers. That was great. That was a great sprint. Loved it. How we doing? I also did put my hair up because I was starting to want to mess with it too much. So I just did the quick bun. And let's see, I got the last of the supplies. I know I said I was going to try and do my October spread with stuff that I already had, but then I kept looking at stuff. So I found a pair of washi tapes that are like almost upholstery wallpaper vibes. I think they're meant to mimic some of the William Morris washi tape and wallpaper stuff, but I feel like it will go pretty well. I don't know, maybe it'll clash. But like some of these are a little bit more blue. So like maybe, I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to put them next to each other without sticking them down to the paper first. And then I also got one more blue thing, which is a slightly brighter blue. So apologies for the non-ASMR wrapping. But it's a PET tape, which could be good. Could maybe not be. I don't know. We'll see. So it's a blue and gold. Might be too bright of a blue, but we'll see. We will play around with it. And if I don't like it with the woodland creatures, then I will save it for another fun spread. I also got ferns and mushrooms because I couldn't help it. They were cute. I have a problem with stationery. I have a problem. I have a stationery addiction. Anyway, hello. Stationery anonymous. Anonymous. I think I've said it funky so many times that I now no longer know how to pronounce it. Stationary anon. Yes, CB, yes, anonymous. But it's like sometimes when it comes out of my mouth, I'm like, am I saying it right or am I saying it funky and weird? Because there are certain words that, like at times I find myself saying cinnamon, but I do the like synonym, but sometimes I find myself calling it synonym unironically, and I'm like, oh wait, no, we need to stop that. So yeah. Anyway, so it's just like one of those words that sometimes my brain gets a little tripped up on, which may be why I tried to hide it by doing it an ironic mispronunciation, but not really ironic. Anyway, Jen says, good morning. Good morning. Hello. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm getting some words down. I'm planning for a fun tarot spread and journaling session, which I think because the equinox, I think, is it autumn? It's at 2:19 p.m. So it's in about 20 minutes. Is when the equinox is. So if you want to keep an eye on the so it's the 19 minutes past this next hour that's about to tick over, whatever time zone you're in. For me, it's 2:19. So yeah. Anyway, CB says hello, welcome. CB says, I need to go make dinner, but I'm comfortable in my bed and I don't want to move. Ooh, do you have snackage that is within reach? I don't know if you snack in bed or not. But yeah, when you're comfy, it is hard to make yourself get up again. Rachel's like, don't move, CB, stay in bed. Stacy says, you meant to write, but you colored instead. That's okay. It's okay. Jen also says, don't move, to CB. I'm jealous that you're in bed and comfy. Funky has made it. Welcome. Rachel went through the emails, checked on your budget to make sure you're still hanging in there after the Gulf trip. Nice. Jen is excited to see Funky. Funky's excited to see Jen. Rachel says, I still need to unpack and do laundry. Meh. Can you unpack directly into the washing machine? Like, do you just have clothes in your open suitcase? Can you just go whoop into the washer barrel? Because that would be at least it would be in the washer barrel then. Imagine us being here at the same time. Right? What brings you to this afternoon stream, says Funky. CB's like, that's what I get for having a nap. Hey, naps are good. Naps are good. Jen says, I have a few hours between routes and client work to finish. Nice. But you do want a nap. And he says, same. I want a nap. You take them often between routes, but this book won't write itself. True. Very true. But he says, therefore, must needs coffee. Also agreed. Or tea, which is what I have today. Or tea. CB says, okay, I need to get up and go and eat dinner. You're tired, but also hungry. Gotcha. CB's like, Funky says, I will allow it if you must, CB. There's a patch of mushrooms growing out in the backyard. Nice. Are they edible? Do you know? Do you want to know if they're... Don't eat them if you're not sure what they are, please. Your brain does that sometimes. You find that if you break it down phonetically in your head, you can get it out properly. Yes. Okay, be right back. Anonymous, an unseen stalker. Maybe. Maybe. Rachel says, unfortunately, you have to go through 2 bags and things got mixed up, so you don't get to do the easy peasy dump. Oh, I'm sorry. That is harder then. CB's parents are on their way back from Spain to Houston. They flew into Gatwick earlier today, and they're staying at Heathrow and then flying back to Houston tomorrow. Gotcha. You don't know if they're edible, and you hate mushrooms anyway, so it's a moo. Joey from Friends. Moot point, yes. Gotcha. Understood. All right, let's do another sprinty sprint, and I think I will do the tarot stuff this sprint because it will be, I'll be reflecting on it at the time of the equinox. So you may hear me shuffling, unless you want me to mute. Tell me now. You're like, Jules, shut up. Let me write in peace. Let's see. What else do we have that is full? Let's do the ghost dog. Let's do the ghost dog. Also, second sprint is the self-promo sprint. So if you are interested in sharing what you are doing writing adjacent wise, please let us know. Just remember, if you do not have a blue wrench, you will not be able to post direct links. Okay, so 1, save your document. Pull up another one if you're going to be switching projects. 2 is take a sip of whatever it is you're hydrating with. Cheers. And 3 is straighten your spine. Roll your shoulders back for that posture check. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. She's like, why does Funky have a wrench? It's far too much power for him. Because Funky is always powering us with the coffee and faded parrot mug. Just because. All right, so 1, save, 2, sip, 3, stretch, and 4, take a break if you need it. Snack break or longer stretch break or whatever you need. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. How do we do? I think oops, there we go. Then italics. I think I am done reflecting on my cards. So I think that's good. So I did get 1,000 words in that sprint. 1,081. So nice. Of course, that's not in the particular project, but it is 1,000 words. So I'll take it. How'd we do? How did you do? Let's see. And it is officially fall. Yay! So I didn't manage to quite do it at the right moment, but not too shortly after. And she was like, yes, it is officially fall. You will not be around on Friday of this week because you are going to see Hamilton at the cinema. Hamilton is going to be shown for its 10th anniversary. Nice. Jen and Funky are joking around about being banned or banning themselves. Rachel has to go now. Y'all enjoy the rest of the equinox. Thanks and enjoy and good luck unpacking. CB says, I'm being such a grown-up. You're eating dinner and watching the news. That's depressing. But yeah, sometimes necessary. Stacy colored some more. Excellent. CB got 129 words. Fantastic. Got some more work writing done and drafted a note to Jules on why Jen should be banned. Jen's laughing and then saying, I'm chatting and writing, but more chatting. Yes. Fuki says, yes, I can officially turn into a pumpkin now. Excellent. But what kind of pumpkin? Like one of the little itty bitty ones, one of the ginormous ones, one of the jack-o'-lanterns, pumpkin pie, the Reese's pumpkin. What kind of a pumpkin? Jen says, I'm trying to think of something worse than a pumpkin for Funky. CB says, I watch the news once a day. CB says, what about a snake? Snakes aren't very fall coded, though, unless you're thinking Halloween, really. I don't know. Anyway, for, I guess, the writing self-promo sprint, make sure you are following and subscribed to the people that you see and the people whose sprints you visit. That's the promo. Because nobody had anything in particular, so. Jen says, I do not watch the news. CB says they are, the snakes are scary though. Funky says, for fall, I will be pumpkin spice, like the next Spice Girl. Pumpkin spice. What I'm trying to think of, like, there would be some neon orange stuff. If we're talking Spice Girl outfits, there could definitely be a pumpkin spice of something for Halloween. I feel like somebody probably ought to go. Is there a Funky's like, sure. Why not? You could be a Spice Girl. Anyway. Yeah. That would be quite. You know what? I'm like 99% sure Pumpkin spice girl costume for Halloween. There's like a latte cup. Yeah, okay. There's one that's just like an orange dress and an orange wig, and then like the latte cup. Those are sort of the. There's one that's sort of, yeah, looks like the McCormick labels that just says pumpkin spice. Yeah. Okay, so there is a pumpkin spice costume, just not quite what I was thinking. So basic. Yeah. The basic is what they say about people who order those coffees at Starbucks. Yeah. There has to be. Yes. Yeah. CB is going to your disability group meeting as the Phantom of the Opera. Fun. Fun. Jen says, I've had a few of the Rebel drinks and Dutch Bros lately. Is that what you want to go as? Funky says, my son does always call me a basic white girl. it's because you run on coffee. Like, and that seems like something a basic white girl would do. Jen is laughing at this. CB says, I have to be especially careful from the end of September until just after Easter, given that you were seriously allergic to orange. Because they have like the bergamot spice and things. Gotcha. Your next meeting is October 27th, so it's your Halloween meeting. Nice. Funky says that they love CB's Phantom costume idea. Slushy energy drinks. Bad for health, but yummy to drink. I mean, that pretty much includes everything, right? Except for maybe water. And even water, if you drink too much, can be bad for your health. Yeah. I mean, living, breathing sometimes can be bad for your health, but still necessary. And we enjoy it most times. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and do another sprint. Let's see. We've done a teapot. We've done teapot. We did the ghost dog. Let's see. Should we do a bat? Let's do a bat. We'll roll this bat down a little. You don't need to do a 45-minute at this point, but let's get it down to a 30-ish. Perfect. He's like, yeah, what's up with that? Stupid water. CB got the fedora today. You got the mask on Saturday, and you have a cape somewhere in the wardrobe. Your wardrobe is getting winterized on Thursday. Nice. I think I have to wait for a little bit while longer to sort of like move the sweaters out to be more accessible because it's just still like 83 and 85 degrees. So it's not something that needs to be done yet. Yeah, years ago somebody passed away after a water drinking contest for the radio. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They didn't research that and got into so much trouble. Yeah, because the body cannot absorb that much, and it just gets too. Our body really doesn't. It's like it doesn't know what to do with it. It thinks we're drowning, I guess. Okay, let's go ahead and do the next sprint. Don't forget to answer the poll as to what are you planning for the equinox and Q4. No clue yet. Cooking, baking, and preserving. Resetting and working on your Kanban, lighting candles, journaling, tarot, etc. So don't forget to answer the poll, and here we go. 1, save your document. 2, take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, that was the third sprint. I did manage to get another 1,000 words, but that one felt like I was more prying some things out of my brain at times with Crowbar. A little bit more distracted, but I did get the 1,000 words. So fantastic. So I got my 2K for the story, and then I got 1,000 for the tarot reflection, for the new moon, and for autumn. So yay. The 12-year-old in you loves the farting bed. I'm pretty sure most of us have that 10 or 12-year-old that is just like hee hee hee, giggle, giggle, giggle at the farting parts. So yes. Let's see. CB said it has started to cool off. So you put on your heating this afternoon. Nice. But the other reason is that you are behind with laundry and you need to catch up, and drying stuff with the heaters on saves time, which, yeah, agreed. It's starting to rain where Stacy is, so, and it looks like it's going to pour. Karma is on her way home, and then you need to go get her sister and sister's friend from school. CB says, I love bats, whether they're gassy or not. Yes, they're cute. All right, I'm going to save my documents. And Funky says, I completely fell off the wagon and had an ice cream sandwich with my coffee. I mean, you do need food. So ice cream sandwiches count as food because they're a sandwich, right? I'm not helpful. I'm very much an enabler in this instance. And dairy, yes. Yeah, that is the other part. And dairy. The rain is coming down slowly like sprinkles, but with big fat drops. Ooh, yeah. Generally, if it's big fat drops, it's a sign that there's more to come. Okay, let's go ahead and end our poll. So, what's it say? Oh, gotta switch over to live chat apparently. For planning for the equinox and Q4, 44% of us have no clue yet what we're doing. 28% of us are planning on lighting a candle, journaling, tarot, etc. 17% are planning on cooking, baking, or preserving something. And 11% are thinking about resetting the Kanban board. So, yay, I can move, I think two, possibly three of these stickies, which is great because we are nearing the end of the month. So I will be redoing all of this for Q4. Funky's like, I'm writing, so I selected journaling. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, y'all. Thank you very much for joining me. I will hopefully see y'all on Wednesday and Friday. And if I don't see you there, I will hopefully see you in the chats. All right. Thank you. Don't forget to save. Bye.